Hey everyone! Today I want to do a review on the Wet n Wild Comfort Zone eyeshadow palette, and this is the 8-pan eyeshadow palette. I believe Wet n Wild has 3 of these 8-pan eyeshadows. They have like a blue based one and I think a purple based one, and then they have this one which is more like a neutral base. Now I'm actually wearing these eyeshadows on my eyes right now, but it doesn't really do this palette justice because I've been wearing these this eyeshadow for about 12 hours and yet you can still see them, so that's great. It's not how it looked originally. It's pretty much exactly where I had applied it before, except for some shimmery fallout. I did use Maybelline's Too Cool Dream Tattoo eyeshadow base. It's kind of like Bed Study from MAC, and it's like a paint pot, and I use that as an eyeshadow base. So it has lasted me pretty well. The thing that I like about this eyeshadow palette is that it comes with brow bone highlights, eyelid colors, crease colors, as well as a definer, which is basically something that you can use to line your eyes because it's really dark. But you can also use the definer as a crease color, eyeshadow color. You can use any of these however you like. But I just like how it's labeled kind of what each shadow is supposed to do, and it's really great for beginners. And I know that when I started doing makeup, I had no idea that there were blending out colors and stuff like that, so I know it can be a little confusing, and I just think this palette makes it a little easier. Plus at the back it kind of has a diagram and it kind of shows you where to apply what. So my favorite colors from this palette by far are these two. And I also like this color as well as this color here. So I pretty much like the lighter colors. I do also like the darker colors, but I just haven't used them as much, and they're a little bit more shimmery, which I don't usually apply shimmery colors on my eyelids. I've just been using these two colors a lot, and I've also been using these two for the crease. And I know this is a brow bone color, but I used it in the crease today, and it just provides like a really sheer kind of silvery, coppery look. And I combine this with this brown crease color, and it just creates a really nice crease color. It's just really subtle and nice for an everyday wear kind of neutral look. These shadows are extremely pigmented, which was something that really surprised me. And this is, by the way, the first time that I used a Wet n Wild product. I think I'll just do a swatch and show you. So this is the brow bone color. I just lightly put my finger on it, went like that, and there it is. No primer, and there you can see just how great that is. And all the shadows blend so easily. So that is definitely something that I look for in eyeshadows. I don't like eyeshadows that just stay put and you can't blend them together, because that just sucks when you're applying eyeshadow, because you really need to blend colors. But yeah, this is the silvery color. This is my favorite color, this pinky champagne-y. It's like a champagne pink, I would say. And yeah, these colors are just really pigmented and beautiful. And I think I will show you this color here. This is like a shiny black color, and also this one is really interesting. This one is like a duochrome color. How pretty is that? Let me just swatch it there. It's like a teal blue with mahogany undertones. I'm impressed that Wet n Wild created such a beautiful and unique color, because I haven't seen this shadow anywhere else yet quite like it. It's sort of like Club by MAC, but not entirely. It's a little bit more on the reddy brown side than MAC's Club. Another thing about these eyeshadows is that they do feel a little bit powdery, so they're not really solid eyeshadows. So if you hit your nail in it or you hit the end of your brush in it, it is going to powder off a little bit. It's not exactly going to shatter. It's not like it's really strong. It's not going to, you know, break apart, but it is a more powdery eyeshadow. Now this isn't a problem if you use a good primer before you apply these shadows, but just something that you should know when you're applying your eye makeup, it could have a little bit of fallout, so you might want to apply your under eye concealer or powder after you apply your eyeshadows. Now, another thing about these eyeshadows is the shimmery colors do tend to fade away. So these darker colors, I have tried using them as liner. These are not enough as liner on its own. It is deep enough and dark enough to line your eyes, but it is going to fade away and it is going to fall down throughout the day. Now, I was not even sweating throughout the day, but I lined underneath my eyes using this definer color right here, and within about 2 or 3 hours it had fallen down a bit and it was like all down here. As I said, these shadows are really easy to blend and they're super easy to apply too. They do apply onto your eyelids just as swatch, so it doesn't really cheat or anything in that aspect, because I do know some drugstore brand eyeshadows, they swatch pretty nicely, but when you put them on your eyelid it just does not apply, or it just looks really weird. So no, these eyeshadows overall are just amazing. I'm so impressed by this palette. I would definitely recommend you getting this palette. It's so inexpensive. I would say this is right now probably in my top 5 favorite eyeshadow palettes, and one of them would be my Naked 2 palette. So this is definitely up there. I really like it. It's not only a great palette from the drugstore, I think it's just a great palette with great eyeshadow options in general. A couple of these eyeshadows are good dupes for MAC eyeshadows. For example, this one is sort of like All That Glitters, and this one is sort of like Naked Lunch. So a couple of these eyeshadows are really nice dupes for great eyeshadows, and they're just great colors in itself. Most of these colors do have a sheen to it. I can't say this palette has matte colors, but not many of these colors have shimmery shimmers in it, except for probably this black here and this one here. The rest just have sort of like a satiny, a shimmery feel. That is all I have to say about this eyeshadow palette. I think it's definitely a good buy. It's good for creating everyday looks, and you can create a really nice dark smoky eye. The only thing I want to say about this is be careful if you want to carry this in your purse, because I know this is convenient to carry in your purse for touch-ups and, you know, stuff like that, but it does have a plastic lid and this could easily crack and smash if you have this at the bottom of your bag and you throw your bag around. That's it for my review on the Wet n Wild Comfort Zone eyeshadow palette. I hope you guys found this review helpful and helped you decide if you wanted the palette or not. It's not very expensive, so it's not like the hardest decision in the world. I did a really in-depth review on this palette on my blog, so if you want swatches and pictures, then go check out my blog post on this palette, and I will leave the link in the description box below, so go check it out if you want a more in-depth review on this palette. I will be doing a tutorial on this eyeshadow palette, and I might even do one natural, like kind of everyday neutral eye look, as well as a darker and more smoky party eye look. But if you want to know how I did this eyeshadow look that I have on my eyes right now, I will be doing a tutorial on that, so keep your eye out for that. And that is everything that I have to say for now. So thank you guys for watching the video, and if you liked it, thumbs up and subscribe. Bye!
All the pretty girls on a Saturday night. So I call your name, cross my fingers on cross